Welcome back to Archicad in Minutes. In today's lesson, we will explore the Slab Tool, one of the most important modeling tools in Archicad. The Slab Tool is used to create floor slabs, suspended floors, balconies, terraces, roof decks, and many other horizontal building elements. Let's learn how the professionals use it. First of all, we come to our toolbox and then we click on Slab Tool. You can either click and come to your information box, or you double click, which will bring the slab default settings. So at this point, we have basically a few tabs here: geometry and positioning, floor plan and section, model, structural analytical parameters, classification and properties, and quantities. So let's dive into geometry and positioning. So looking at this, by default, we have two kind of slab, either the simple basic slab or the composite slab. So this is a composite slab. And what we mean by composite slab is that the slab element is made up of more than one element. It can be either reinforced concrete, then followed by a tile, or it can be a gypsum board, then followed by a screeding. So it's more than one element that made up that component. So in this case, if you look at it, it's have a generic slab roof, and then we have other options: concrete floor insulated with 10 mm tile, concrete floor insulated with parquet, concrete floor with 10 mm tile. So this one, if you are dealing with a composite tool, it gives you a proper modeling, and at the same time, you have your quantity takeoff that you can use, or you can give it to a quantity surveyor to quantify your materials. Then coming down to this home story. So in slabs, it's all like a wall. A wall is in which, if you could remember, we have the home story and then linked to another roof. So in slabs, it only gives you the primary story, that is the home story. So in this case now, if I'm going to draw this, it means that I'm drawing at a ground floor level. So in bracket, it shows that this is the current level. That means my workspace here, I'm at ground floor level. So that's what it's telling me. So if I take it, for example, I want to do it from first floor, then it means that I have to come back here and take it to first floor. Otherwise, the slab will give you a warning that you created at another level. So knowing this one is very important and key. And then this one now, if you see it, it's at 0. And then you have this dimension, the dimension representation. So this one now is telling you, because it's composite, so it's telling you that the thickness of this element is 300, which is fixed. If you want to edit it, you are not editing it here. And we'll look at it, how you can edit this 300. So this one we have at 0. What it means is that it's referencing to these 4 elements here. That's the reference plane. That's what part of the slab tool is going to be at that level that you are setting. That's where we have the core, we have orders, and we have finishing. So this one now is showing you that it's at the core, that this you are, for example, the reinforced concrete. Assuming we are dealing with this, so it's showing you that this the level of your concrete. Then this is your tiling. So now this one is telling you that it's going to recognize the top of the reinforced concrete or the concrete material as a reference plane, or this, in this case now, is showing you that it's to the bottom of the whole composite slab, while this one is to the top, while this one is to the bottom core. So it's very important to know when to use a reference plane and how to use the reference plan. This one is showing you that from the project 0, that this one now is at 450. So coming down to this, in floor plan, if you have a slab that you want it to show only on home story, or you want it to show on home and 1 story up, or home and 1 story down, home and 1 story, or all stories. So you create option that is applicable to you. And then this one for cost surface, how do you want it to behave? Is it just simple, non-shaded, or you want it to be shaded, or to show you some textures? So you use code field. Then we have outline, in which we'll look at how to change our pen sets. And then a cover field, maybe you are using a slab and then you want it to look like a carpet, for example. So you use this, or you want it to look like an interlocking block. So you choose which one is applicable. So no need of you to go back and be creating a fill tool instead of creating slab tool. Then coming down to the third one we have surfaces. So in Archicad slab, it recognizes 3 surfaces. The top, which is look at it as a light blue, and then it have the side, and then it has the bottom. So once you check this, it gives you the options to select either the texture or the color that you want. Under structural function, one basic thing is it a load bearing, a non-load bearing, or undefined. So we use slab as we made mention for your suspended slab, for your floor. You can use it for finishing. You can use it for some designs. You can use it to create your cabinet. So you need to understand, is it a load bearing or a non-load bearing, or is undefined? Undefined is neither load bearing, or maybe there's an ambiguity. So you will leave it at undefined. Then coming down to classification and property, the basic settings here is the structural function, which is I'm drawing it for as a load bearing element. And what is the position if I want to go extra mile detailing it? So detailing this one, it gives you an idea of maybe when you are trying to highlight some elements, are you highlighting the exterior or the interior, or you are trying to use it to do material take-off? So the exterior and interior plays a vital role in doing that. So in this case, we are going to leave it as undefined, and then we click OK. So let's look at the behavior of this composite material that we select. So we can draw a simple slab like this, and then let's come to our viewpoint, and then let's cut a section through this, and then we come down to view map, sections, and then we have our section. And if you look at this now, since we drew it at a ground floor level, so if you look at this now, it means that the 450, let me drag it to this side, so it means that this one is at the bottom. It's recognizing this as the core. So if I click on this now, you see the behavior, same element, but it respects the pickup, the reference plane. If I click on this, is the whole of it. Likewise, if I click on this, is this. So now let's have this shortcut, or I click on this and then edit selected composite slash profile. So coming down to this, so this is what we are looking at. The reference plane is determined by this element. So in this case now, our tile is a finishing material, so that's why it's under finish. Then we have a concrete, like a screeding, a small screeding, so which is orders. If you don't want to put it under finishing, it's neither a core nor the finish, so we call it order. And then this one, this is the reinforced concrete, which is the core, which is um the structural element. It's a reinforced concrete structure, so it's 200. Then we have plaster gypsum. So this one is for a suspended, so it's 10 mm. So if you want to add, you come here, insert skin, that automatically it create a duplicate. Or if I want, I remove a skin and it goes. If I put a skin, if you look at this, it will give you additional. So if I'm removing, it's going. So with this, you can make a duplicate. Either I click and create duplicate, or you click here and then come and click duplicate. So let me create one. Then at your own time, you can create multiple composite slabs that you will need in your project. So in this case, I'm going to create for a DPC. So I will name this one to concrete ground floor with 10 mm tile. So clicking. So in this case, my screeding, basically, apart from this is more or less like a mortar. So I'm reducing mine to 12. I'm making my tile to be 13. So altogether, the mortar and the tile is this. Then I'm creating another one for my screeding. So I can just leave it as concrete. Then I can create my screeding bed to be 75 mm. Then my reinforced concrete, my DPC, I'm making it 150. Then I'm coming to my hardcore. I'm using gravels, which is 300, which is under orders, sorry, under core. Then insert skin again. I click on this, and then I will call it soil. So I can make this one maybe 750 or more than that, depending on the project or how I want to visualize. So here now, we finish clicking. If you look at it, 1, 2, 3, they are under core. Then these two, they are under orders, and then I have this. So once I click OK, it's all going to take effect. So I'm going to click here. I'll come to concrete ground floor with 10 mm tile. So I have this. So imagine doing this and then saving it as your own settings, and then maybe copying and using it. How effective is it? So if somebody asks you to cut multiple section, you don't need to go back and start using what we call a fill tool and to search and to start searching for building material. For example, I should start creating. So at the end of the day, you cannot see these gravels in 3D compared to the person that is using a composite slab. You are going to see everything in a 3D. So you can go back, you can create different composite material that you need in your project. You can create another one for your suspended floor slab. You can create for ceiling finish. For example, if I'm creating a floor slab for a ceiling finish, only ceiling finish, so I'm coming down to this point, and gypsum plasterboard waterproof. So I'm going to click. So if you look at it now, I have this. So it comes in different sizes. So I'm using 6 mm. So this is for ceiling finish. So I can use this one just as a single material, not a composite material. So this one is very important to know when you need them and how to use them. So I believe in this our session you understand how to create your slab, and then how to work about your geometry and positioning, floor plan and section, model, how to change the color, and then classification and property, whether is it a load bearing, non load bearing, or is undefined. So in this case, this one, if I go back now, I will make sure that I put it under non-load bearing. I click OK. While this one, I will make sure that it's under load bearing, and I'll click OK. So thank you, and see you in our next video, where we will talk about column and beams.